Let us now have the second biomolecule, the lipids. These are organic compounds that include fat and fat-like substances such as phospholipids, waxes, steroids, and sphingolipids. They are generally hydrophobic and are insoluble in water, but soluble in organic solvents such as benzene, ether, and chloroform. And like carbohydrates, they also contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, but they contain lesser oxygen in proportion to hydrogen. Taking beef fat or tristearine for example, it has a molecular formula of C57, H110, and O6. Let us now have the functions of lipids inside a living organism. First, it is a source and storage of energy. As a result of having a larger amount of hydrogen, a greater degree of condensation or dehydration synthesis is required. Therefore, more energy is obtained from a molecule of fat compared to a molecule of a carbohydrate. Lipids provide twice as much as energy per pound as carbohydrates. Second function, it is an essential part of cell structures such as the cell membrane. One type of lipid, which is the phospholipid, is the major building blocks of the cell membrane's bilipid layer. Third function, it is an insulating material to prevent heat loss and protection against extreme cold. Aquatic animals such as whales have thick layers of fat beneath their skin that serves as protection from extreme cold and helps them retain their body temperature. It also serves as solvent for fat-soluble vitamins and hormones. Lastly, it prevents water loss from skin surface. The thin layer of oil produced by the sebaceous gland in the skin prevents the evaporation of water. Let us now have the types of lipids. First one is the most common and the most known lipids, the fats. Fats are composed of one molecule of glycerol, which is an alcohol that contains 3 carbons, and 3 molecules of fatty acids. And what connects glycerol and fatty acid is what we call the ester bond. And fats can be broken down into simpler compounds through the process called hydrolysis or addition of water. And 3 molecules of water is needed to break down 1 molecule of fats through the help of an enzyme called the lipase. And through hydrolysis and the enzyme lipase, the fat molecule can now be separated into 1 glycerol and 3 fatty acids. And there are 2 types of fatty acids, the saturated and the unsaturated fatty acids. Saturated fatty acids are solid at room temperature and are most common in animals. Lard, margarine, butter are the most common example of saturated fatty acids. On the other hand, unsaturated fatty acid occur at liquid state at room temperature. They are most commonly found in plants, and our examples are vegetable oil and corn oil. And unsaturated fats are believed to be healthier than saturated fats. Another type of lipid is the phospholipid, which is an important part of our cell membrane. And they are made up of 2 fatty acid molecules and 1 phosphate group. The fatty acid molecules are hydrophobic while the phosphate group is hydrophilic. And as a result, they are responsible on the polar and nonpolar characteristics of our cell membranes. Next type of lipids are the waxes. Waxes are important components of some living things such as the cuticle coverings for the surfaces of leaves and stems of plants and protective coverings on the skin and fur of some animals. Steroids, on the other hand, are lipids with a carbon skeleton of 4 fused rings. Cholesterol, bile salts, sex hormones, and vitamin D are examples of steroids. Cholesterol can be found in animals but not in plants. Cholesterol adds strength to the plasma membrane in animal cells and serves as a precursor in the formation of other steroids. However, too much cholesterol is bad for the body, for it can be deposited in the inner linings of our arteries and may cause heart ailments such as heart attack. Last type of lipids are the sphingolipids, which can be found in brain, lungs, and nerve cells. They serve as surfactants that help reduce surface tension on the lungs, thus maintaining its right shape. And those are the types of our lipids.